Hello, everyone. I'm so glad you're here today. Today, we're diving into something foundational to all of us: identity. It's the essence of who we are. It's a topic that invites deep reflection and connection, and I believe it will resonate deeply with you. Have you ever thought about your true self and what defines you? Like, really considered who you are, your thoughts and your behaviors, or wondered why you do this or that? Better yet, have you ever had a moment where you've sat and said to yourself, I don't even know who I am? For those of us who have endured complex trauma, that kind of confusion is more than just a fleeting moment. It's a reality we have to face head on. In the midst of my struggles and throughout my healing journey, I found myself repeatedly asking, who am I? I mean, this question, it wasn't just a casual thought, it was a desperate search for clarity as I worked to understand my needs, to make decisions and set boundaries that served me well. And I had to do this to rebuild my sense of self. For survivors of complex trauma, this disconnection from our authentic selves is one of the biggest challenges we face on the path to healing and emotional maturity. If you're new to the channel, I'm Kerri McKenna Reece. Welcome. It's an honor to have you join us. I am a trauma recovery coach and supervisor, an accredited certified complex trauma instructor, and a mentor dedicated to making a difference for those who have endured struggles similar to my own. If you've ever felt like you don't know who you really are, or that you wear different masks or have certain behaviors just to make it through life, this video is for you. We're going to explore why that happens and how we can start reconnecting with our authentic selves, this version of you that honors you. It meets your needs and allows you to thrive. A chaotic and neglectful family, that kind of life robs a child of the chance to nurture a healthy, authentic identity. It's not just in who we are. It's what we like and dislike, our interests, our passions, what brings us joy, and what we want to pursue in our lives for happiness. From the moment we're born, our drive is to shape our personal identity. We are so full of love and trust. And when that trust is broken, when we are not taken care of and nurtured, when we no longer feel safe, and when we no longer feel safe, we're not able to connect or attach to a caregiver. And when we're not able to connect or attach, we're not able to build a clear sense of who we are. We're not able to form our own identity. Part of what creates the perception of who we are is the mirrors around us. And I'm speaking of our parents, our caregivers, siblings, teachers, friends, neighbors. All of these people, they mirror back to us in ways that cause us to see ourselves in a certain light and in a certain way. I mean, we absorb everything, their words, actions, and unspoken messages. And when those reflections are loving and positive, we have loving, positive feelings about ourselves. We think about ourselves in loving, positive ways. When the reflections we receive are unloving, critical, judgmental, and negative, we discredit ourselves, see ourselves in a negative light. We feel negatively about ourselves as an individual, entertain unkind, unloving thoughts about who we are, and treat ourselves or allow ourselves to be treated in unloving ways. Growing up in a home that feels less than safe, it leaves us with a distorted perception about who we truly are. And we internalize a message about ourselves that tells us that we're bad, we're not good enough or worthy enough to be treated with care and respect. And these messages, they stay with us, affecting how we see ourselves and how we let others treat us. Trauma is what I like to call the great disconnector. It severs our connection to ourselves and to others and to the world. Each painful experience, it leaves a wound that distorts our self-perception and limits our ability to live authentically. When we express ourselves as children and we're told to shut up and sit down, that we look ridiculous, that we're being too loud, or we have a big mouth, or that we sound stupid, or we're told to stop whining, stop being a baby, to suck it up. That's deeply harmful. It's detrimental to our well-being. It distorts the perception of who we authentically are. And these experiences, they force us to suppress parts of ourselves just to feel secure. Our identity then becomes whoever we need to be in the moment to feel or maintain a sense of security. We adapt, we put on masks, we become chameleons, we shift our identities to what is known as a trauma identity to survive. And the cost of that survival is disconnection from our true authentic selves. When we're not accepted for who we are and all of our uniqueness and differing abilities, it has a devastating impact. It's dehumanizing when someone or our family fails to acknowledge, consider, or account for what moves our soul, our mind, our thoughts, feelings, and intelligence, when they fail to recognize our humanity. This paves the way for hatred throughout an entire family and the world. Trauma, it destroys a person's inner world. If you were neglected as a child or raised in an emotionally dysfunctional, chaotic family, maybe you learned to be invisible to avoid conflict. Maybe you stuffed your emotions because they were viewed as signs of weakness. Maybe you became the good kid to avoid the anger of a volatile parent. Or maybe you became the caretaker, the one who soothed everyone else because that was the only way you could find stability or even feel a little bit of stability. Maybe you excelled in school or focused on your looks to get praise at home or in public. Maybe you said yes to everything, even though you really wanted to say no, simply for a sense of being liked, connected, and accepted. Maybe you made excuses for others instead of standing in the truth to avoid conflict. Maybe you were the meter of everyone else's needs for a sense of security. Those survival mechanisms, they follow us into adulthood where we slip into roles like people pleasing, caretaking, and perfectionism to feel accepted. We might avoid conflicts, suppress our emotions, or struggle to set boundaries. These behaviors, they helped us survive as children, but now they keep us from living authentically. And this is why we often feel lost, uncertain, or unfulfilled. Trauma taught us to disconnect from our feelings and needs, so much so that we struggle to understand what we truly want or who we are beneath the layers of adaptation. When your identity is built around survival as a child, it's hard to know who you are once you're out of that environment. And some of us self-abandoned so young and became chameleons so young, we were never in touch with our needs to begin with. And today have no idea what our needs are. That's actually where I started on my healing journey. Now let's talk about healing. Those survival roles, those masks, they were necessary at the time you were in an unsafe, toxic environment. They protected you, they kept you safe. But now it's time to slowly peel back those layers and reconnect with the parts of yourself that you have abandoned or stuffed away. And one way to start this journey is through curiosity. Pay attention. Notice when you're putting on one of those old masks or resorting to an old behavior. Are you saying yes when you really want to say no? Are you avoiding conflict when speaking up matters? Are you suppressing your thoughts, feelings, and emotions to keep the peace? These small moments, they're clues. They're opportunities to ask yourself, what do I really want? What do I need? Another powerful tool is self-compassion. It can feel overwhelming to look at all the ways trauma has impacted your sense of identity. But remember, this is not your fault. You did what you had to do to survive. That's resilience. Now you need to give yourself permission to be gentle as you unravel these old patterns. Healing doesn't happen overnight, and that is totally okay. Praise yourself for being resilient when you had to be. Talking to someone, journaling, connecting with supportive people, these are all ways to start getting to know yourself again. I did that myself. It's getting to know the real you, not the one shaped by fear or survival. There truly is power in healthy relationships. Healing your inner wounds, it allows you to build healthier connections with yourself and with others. And it's a process that can be both challenging and beautiful because beneath all of those roles, there's you, whole, deserving, and worthy of love. And when you're in a thriving relationship, I need to say this, both people encourage personal growth, right? They reflect each other's worth, and it creates a space of mutual respect. It's a space that you'll find true freedom, the freedom to be seen, valued, and loved for who you truly are. That's a healthy relationship. If this resonates with you, I want you to know you're not alone. Many of us are on this journey, unlearning old patterns and rediscovering our authentic selves. Thank you for spending this time with me today. If you found this helpful, please like the video and consider subscribing to this channel. We'll keep exploring these topics together one step at a time. And remember, you deserve to know and love the real you. Take care, and I'll see you next time.